Like I say, originally the Titanic was not being crewed by the Irish. It was actually being crewed by the Chinese or Koreans or some other group. Basically, I had paid to basically be on board, do security. There were because we had many different countries, so I had a Chinese or Korean security force basically on there watching the ship pretty much. And then of course I think I had three security teams actually on the ship because it was so big. So there were so many decks that I was like Korean and what's called, and there was also like American or some other group basically. And what I heard was there was fighting and an attack or something like that, and basically the engine stopped. And I heard a report from somebody from one of the submarine people, basically that they heard the engines on the Titanic stop, and they were out in the middle of the ocean, and they didn't know why they had just stopped, and or they hit reverse or something like that. But basically, and somebody waved one of the submarines. They knew about one of the submarines, and they waved the submarine in to come alongside. And I think they took it over and maybe even used it to sink the ship. But there were actually two submarines following it, or four submarines. I forget, because it was such a big ship and it was such a big deal and there's so much money involved that I think it actually had like more than one submarine. There were like two submarines following it. And while they did take over the crew and kill the crew of the one submarine, I don't think, and I think there might have been a problem where they didn't know how to operate it or something like that. I'm not exactly sure exactly the details of everything, but I think Korea actually had a report on it until they got to the submarine captain. I think they might have even killed him because they found him eventually. Um, because he turned around and they deleted, or they burned all the records except for the thing. But I heard about the thing, and I know that there were two or four submarines following it. When it went down, or on one of its trips. It was normal to like each of my White Star ships had a submarine behind it. It always had a submarine behind it. And I think that's the thing, is that my White Star ships always had a submarine behind it, at least the big ones, for protection from pirates and all that other stuff. But they didn't realize that the Titanic and me, I would have two submarines or even four submarines following it. The Titanic meant a lot to me. It was like my prized, wonderful ship, and there was like rich people on board, so it really meant a lot that the people were safe. They were supposed to be safe. So there were actually like two or four submarines following it. Or four in the area basically. They would just cruise around basically and provide assistance. In case one of the ships sank, because it's very deadly water and all that other stuff. So, and protection, from pirates. Pirates were always trying to get my ships. In fact, they took over one of my other ships, and I used a submarine actually to take it back over or something like that. They were holding the crew hostage or something. But that was one long time ago. Anyway, though, and I actually ended up paying a ransom, I think, or something like that, to actually get them to go quietly. So, anyway, but pretty much on the Titanic, there was a record. I know about that, but I heard, but Nixon actually admitted to the fact that there was a girl and he stabbed her, and there was blood all over the seat. Like, he was sitting in one of my classic cars, and he was like, and he realized that right then and there he wanted it. He wanted everything, and I think it was like maybe even John McCain or something like that. So it was like 1950s or something like that when they were messing around. They were young kids, and they decided that was the kind of lifestyle that they wanted, and they were going to do anything to get it. So they killed a whole bunch of people. Well, he strangled the girl, I think, or actually the story that I heard was she was a queen or something, and she didn't want to have sex with him, and he like shoved the knife right through her, and it went right through. It was such a big knife that went right through her body into this, and she bled all over the seat. And somebody was like, "Do you know whose car this is?" And it's like Lucifer White Star. It's my car. It was my car. It was one of my four, or one of my prize cars. First printing or first manufactured car, pretty much. So very rare, and they were being shipped to my place in the U.S. And so the upholstery was ruined, and there was a hole in it and stuff like that. And they tried to wash the blood off, and they tried to throw her over the side, the body over the side. But the people caught them, and it could have been one of the black leaders actually, probably that was actually doing it, because they were psychotic and they were going to kill their way to the top. So they were trying to throw it over the side, and one of the people saw them, of course, and stopped them, because I had lots of security. So because the people of Africa, those black people were psycho, and they might have actually gotten nuked over it. I don't really know. I mean, I was doing lots of stuff, so. Anyway, though, that might have been why Africa actually got nuked, because they were a problem. So, although I guess I didn't get the leader or something, or it might have been, I don't know. It's that guy in Korea, and we found out about all that too. That he had people behind the doors, like threatening to kill the people of Korea, the leaders of Korea or something. But there's so many of them. Anyway, and it turned out to be this psychotic black person that was just going to kill his way to the top and all that other stuff. Although, it's kind of like, well, here's the thing. I'm the creator to humanity, and I own 400 other planets, and it gets a bit different. Although, who knows, maybe he can force or enslave his people long enough to have them create something to kill me or kill everyone. But Nixon or somebody else was going to kill everyone anyway. There's quite a few other life forms. I mean, 3 or 4 psychotic rulers, that's kind of like, that's not really much when you're considering the trillions of life forms out there, and I'm the creator of 80 billion galaxies. So, anyway, there's just a bit different with me, because I'm not just the creator, I'm not just Lucifer White Star, I'm the creator that changed existence completely. So anyway, for everyone, I invented the tourism industry. I invented everything. So, and a psychopath that will just kill anyone in his way is one thing, and then a creator or someone who created humanity and quite a bit of other life, endoskeletons and exoskeletons, and all that other stuff. I'm a bit different. So, and about 100 trillion years old or more. So. Anyway, I don't really know. I don't really care. I mean, it's just like, well, so quite a big fish to take down, I suppose, me. But anyway, I was gone, actually, I think, for most of it. So anyway, I don't really know. I mean, I heard that nobody liked him. Anyway, so I don't know. And then there were 5-year leader, African leaders later, and he was just a guy that grabbed an AK-47, another thing I invented and had built when he was a child, 15 years old, and just started killing everyone in his path until he got to whatever he needed or whatever he wanted. So, I mean, there's different levels here, I suppose. I don't know, maybe he just did hostage or killing until he killed his way to the top, so. I just created particle physics, the first particles in existence, as well as the sun and the Earth and 80 other galaxies. So, I don't know. I guess I'm not that important really compared to a guy who grabbed a AK-47 when he was 15 and just started killing his way along until he got to wherever he needed to go. So, I mean, I don't know. There's me, and then there's them. That's kind of like Lucifer White Star Alliance, me, builder of the Titanic, inventor of steam, and the Panama, and galaxies and matter itself, like even the particles, the very particles of matter. I think I invented those as well, and also figured out how to make them more dense, and also created the first stars, and the first sun, and the first Earth, which also used to be a star. So that's where I'm at, and I don't know about the rest. I mean, I also had 4 or 5 other life form types that were with me, and then there's also the 800 other galaxies, which I actually created life, I believe, in every single one of those galaxies. So there's all those types of life as well. So, and all the life that would be inside this galaxy, the Milky Way, as well. So, I mean, there's all that. So.